on, people? It's Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics, and it seems that we're going to be bringing up a topic that I thought was already sort of extinguished by Activision. Apparently not. The rumor is that the new Call of Duty game by Sledgehammer Games, who's working on it, and if you go on their website, you can confirm it right there. They're saying they're working on a Call of Duty game. There's nothing being hidden from that. However, the date of the release, in one of these articles, anything that I talk about for relating to this will be links to the articles in the description of this video, so you can check them out yourself. However, the rumor is that Sledgehammer Game is actually in development of a massive multiplayer online game for Call of Duty. Something completely off the charts in terms of where Call of Duty has been going. Now, they did confirm that, or at least I'm pretty sure they confirmed, that it'll still be a first-person shooter game, but it's combined. It'll be like this new breed of first-person shooters, more in a massive multiplayer online. And this will be, yes, pay to play. So, I mean, this is no different than a lot of the MMOs out there that have, predominantly always been on PCs, but they support it. You know what I mean? Blizzard and all that sort of stuff. They at least have the support for it. So this is where the rumors are coming in. And it seems that Sledgehammer is actually working on something completely new. And if the rumors are correct, we're about to change and take, I don't know if it's going to be a breath of fresh air, if it's going to be frustrating for a lot of people. Frustrating, whatever. Tomato, you knew exactly what I was saying. So, we're going to be looking at a Call of Duty game that may provide us with sort of elongated gameplay. And by that I mean we're not looking to get the next, because right now the way that the Call of Duty series is set up, the way that the game types are set up, you kind of almost want a new game every year. It's set up in such a way that the long-term sort of enjoyment of it, although I still play Call of Duty 4 and periodically World at War, but the I gotta get home and play it sort of factor really sort of fizzles out after a year or so, because it's the same thing over and over again. And the introduction of a massive multiplayer, well, that just may fix that problem. And it's not going to attract everyone. Not all of you guys are going to want to pay an additional subscription fee. But to be quite honest, I was actually just talking the other night with Bentley, our NGT Games director, and Maylace, my wife. And I'm not sure if I spoke to a few people online with the live streaming on our website, but I was dropping this. This was something that I had thought of. I thought, you know what, wouldn't it be cool to be sort of a pack, or you could be a clan and playing first-person shooter game like Call of Duty, and that clean crispness, though. That's important to me, though. If it doesn't have that, I'm probably out. I mean, we'll cover it, but as far as me going, oh, I can't believe it, it's so delicious, the best piece of candy I've ever eaten, may not happen. But if it does, if they do it well, and who knows, because it's a completely different company doing it, Sledgehammer Games. No idea. Are they going to be crisp and clean like Infinity Ward in terms of the movement and the actual game engine? Or is it going to be just like a little bit looser and not as crisp as Treyarch tends to make their games? Either or. I mean, they both have their different flavor. I don't hate either or. It's just a matter of getting used to it. So I'm curious to see what Sledgehammer, I'd hope, in all honesty, that the Sledgehammer game, like, it plays more similar to the way that Infinity Ward has set up the movement and everything. But to introduce a massive multiplayer, a world where we could explore 24/7 and is just going on. I mean, who knows what you could possibly do with that? You could create the most amazing Call of Duty game ever. Imagine a world where you could travel with your buddies and everything, and you'd have to go from town to town. There's certain towns with certain weapons that you'd have to buy. COD points, which is what Treyarch introduced. Maybe as you're going around, you fight random bots or something like that, skirmishes, just like in MMOs before, or come across random clans, fight them, don't fight them, run away, do whatever you got to do, build up money, build up notoriety within this world, this realm. You know what I mean? Like, I think the possibilities are amazing for that if it's done right. I know a lot of us, we have mixed feelings on Activision, hate them, love them. The bottom line is they've been producing the games that most of us have been buying. You can talk all you want about how much you hate them, even if you are one, but at some point or other, you bought probably more than one of the Call of Duty games. Probably more than one. Possibly other games from them as well. You can hate the giant, but don't hate these games. These are the developers. I mean, yes, you know, Treyarch and Infinity Ward were essentially bought up by these giant corporations, these Activision, which once were the primary developers. But they're still the ones developing these good games, and we still like these games. I mean, hell, Black Ops, you hate it or not, record sales. Whether it's to do with marketing or whatever it is, we're still buying them. And there's a certain aspect. I mean, I don't hate Black Ops. I think it's a fun game. If you get your ass handed to you, yeah, there's a lot of problems with it. That aside, the game itself, the concept of the game is really good. I love Call of Duty. I love the first-person action in it. I think it's great. And to introduce a possible MMO world where we're going to be able to, and you have to. For those of you that aren't aware of it, or, you know, kind of, I'm not paying that, well, you know what, don't pay it. You have to pay a subscription for a game that is more or less based on MMO. The amount of support that's needed on something like that is paramount. You have to have that support there, and you're going to have to pay to play it. Most, if not all, PC gamers that play those types of games have to pay a subscription rate for that game. But they get the support for it. And as long as that support is there, I'm totally on board. I mean, there's a lot of factors. I'm saying I'm totally on board. There's a lot of factors. Game's got to be friggin' pretty tight. It's got to be up to at least the standard of what Call of Duty gameplay is like right now, and then simply applying that to a massive multiplayer and creating this world where we want to play it. And maybe it's one of these games, you know, think about StarCraft. Holy crap, they have one game out, lasts like 10, 15 years. What was it, 15 years? Not till the next one. That shows longevity. That's what I'm talking about. If you imagine have a Call of Duty game where you actually want to play it for 10 years, that's what I'm talking about. That's some pretty good stuff. Although you probably know that if Activision has its way with it, and hopefully this doesn't happen. I'm saying this now. See, again, I'm bashing on Activision. Hopefully, if Activision does take on a project of this size, of an MMO, they're going to give us time to play it. At least give us 5 years before you're going to spit out another one. Because if you're going to do a back-to-back, like a year, here's a new one, here's a new one, here's a new one, with an MMO, that's going to show people are going to burn the building down. They're going to go to Activision, they're going to say, burn, mother, you know what, burn. Because that's just not right. You don't do that with this type of game. You've got to give it time. This is a type of game that would go on and on and on, kind of like I am. Well, you know what I mean. Some of you guys say that. But anyway, that's it. So I'm excited to see what's happening. They did say in the article that I was reading, they're like, well, we didn't say that there's going to be 2 Call of Duty games for 2011. We didn't say that the Sledgehammer game that they're working on, this new one, rumored to be an MMO, is going to be in 2011. We just said that they're working on it. Yes, they're working on it. So anyway, that's it. Tell me what your thoughts are. I know some of you guys don't want to play subscription rates, such as life. You don't want to play an MMO, or you want to play an MMO, that's what it entails. But I'm more interested in your thoughts of whether or not you want this giant world. It's connected, like a giant grid map, a map like playing Ultima, or, you know, anything where there's worlds and cities across the way, and you've got to friggin' get there and have adventures along the way. That, I think, is friggin' an amazing step in the right direction for Call of Duty. And maybe with the next generation consoles, they can fully sort of, you know, metabolize something like that. Anyway, that's it. I'm GunZerari from NextGenTactics. Leave your comments below. I'm very curious. I will be reading them. I want to see what you guys are thinking. Hate it? Love it? Don't really care. Just waiting to see what it's like. Peace. Get the latest updates and stay in touch with the NGT community with our all-new Facebook application. Check the description of the video for details.